Got a comfort food classic today. We're going to do some beef tips and rice. In my bowl, I have 2 pounds of stew meat. I'm going to go ahead and get in about a teaspoon of salt. And then I'll get some pepper in. With the spices and everything that we have here, I'll show you how to make a delicious gravy for this. And we are not going to need one of those gravy packets. Like I say, it's your kitchen. If you have it and you want to use it, go right ahead. But those gravy packets have MSG in it. It sometimes bothers me, so that's why I don't use them. Okay, we're going to get in a little bit of onion powder, and then I also have a little bit of cayenne going in for kick here. It's just a little background note. It's not a lot of heat here. Then we're going to get in some garlic powder and then a little bit of paprika for color, of course. What I like to do at this point is go ahead and mix all of those spices into the meat, like give it a good rub. I find that this does help maximize the flavor, and after all, the beef tips are the star of the show, so I want them to be as flavorful as possible. Also going in, I have a half cup of flour. This is going to create that delicious, flavorful gravy that we all know and love. I'm actually going to go ahead and mix this into my meat, and then I'm going to get ready to get this browned. But this, again, is going to help us create that gravy with minimal effort. Okay, over at the stove, I have about 2 tablespoons of canola oil that's being heated up over medium-high heat. I'm going to go ahead and get in about half of the meat here. And what I want to do is just kind of sear the outside of it. I don't want to crowd my pan too much, so like I said, I'll just use about half. And then I'm going to let this brown on all sides. So let this go about 3 to 5 minutes. Don't want to cook it through at this point. Just again, just browning the outside. So I just move it around, make sure it's not sticking too much. And then I'm going to go ahead and get ready to prepare the next batch to go in. So I'm going to get a slotted spoon so that I can leave, if any, some oil at the bottom so I can brown the next batch. I'm going to have the last of the meat going in, and again, just repeat the process, making sure that it's browned before we move on to the next step. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and add all of the meat back in and the rest of the ingredients. So first we're going to go ahead and get in our beef broth. Of course, you could use water. Beef broth is going to add the most flavor at this point though. And then I'm just going to move the broth around and the meat around, trying to scrape up those bits, those flavorful bits at the bottom. This is going to add flavor and then of course still help this broth thicken up as it cooks. So I'm going to make sure I'm getting as much of that as I possibly can. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get in my soy sauce and my Worcestershire sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and, after a good stir, put the lid on and let this hang out over medium heat while we prepare the rice. In my pot here, I have 2 cups of rice that I have rinsed thoroughly, and then I'm going to go ahead and get in 3.5 cups of water. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up to a boil, and I'll show you exactly how I cook perfect rice every time. As this comes to a boil, I'm going to put my lid on and turn my fire down to low. Leave this alone and let it hang out for about 15 to 17 minutes. It's been exactly 15 minutes and I can tell that my liquid has been absorbed. I'm going to go ahead and just move my rice around here and it's done. I know it will still cook in my pot here for a little bit even with the fire off. So I know that that's ready for me to go. So I'm going to go ahead and check back in on my meat. The house smells amazing and this is thickening up really well. Like I said, we don't need any gravy packets, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep moving this around, scraping up the bottom. It's been cooking about 45 minutes here. I'll get the lid back on and let it cook another 45 minutes. In total, the beef cooked for an hour and a half until it was fork tender. Of course, I served that delicious gravy over some rice and then I paired it with some sweet peas. You could also serve these beef tips and gravy over egg noodles or even a baked potato. Thank you for hanging out in the kitchen with me today. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and you can hang out with me again on the next one.